Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. We have our African queen coming through today, our African sister. Peace and blessings, will be coming through. Blessings. We have our African queen coming through today, our African history. What my grandfather knew that they don't want us to know, to teach. So we're going to find that out. She's going to let us know what part of Africa she's from. And I'm still a little under the weather, but I think this is important for us. So she will be in the building, giving us some time. 6 o'clock is when time start. 6 o'clock is when time start, y'all. All right, we got this coming up upon us. For those of y'all who got y'all ticket, make sure you got the link in your email already, so you don't tell us later. Make sure you have the link. If you bought your ticket, you good. You should have a link already. All right?
Yeah. That is for my sisters trapped in religion. Wake up and free the babies. sa.neter speak the truth, he's on a mission. Yeah. The house of consciousness, the final call. Will you Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? The house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. I use the Bible like a lantern in the night, trying to wake up my sister. True light, the house is closing in, it's a total mess. You ignore my wisdom, the ultimate test. Step inside the HOK, it's the toughest terrain, where the truth hits hard, the cuts bring pain. I try to wake you with the word in my hand, to get you to the truth, to help you understand. I gave you the scriptures, chapters and verse. I gave you the keys to break the curse. I gave you Torah to unlock with keys. Break the mental chains and be free. The final call. Yeah, will your Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? The house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. They call you apostle like you a prophet of God, telling lies and fooling people can't be that hard. You're preaching from your tube, looking for a handout. I'm standing on family, trying to bring the truth out. Welcome to the HOK, where the truth resides. No more hiding in the pews where the dies. We speak against the Bible just to wake the inner sight. Come inside the HOK doors, we bring the light. The house of consciousness, the final call. Will your Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. Sa.neter, don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, wake the sister up. Don't stop, don't stop. Sa.neter, don't stop, wake the sister up. Don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, don't stop.
All right, I'm giving you the final call. All you Bible thumpers out there, sisters, if them brothers is out there trying to put the Bible in your face, tell them to stand up like a man. Come to me with your own theology. Come to me with your own thoughts. I don't want to hear what Paul said. That's why he said especially Paul. I don't want to hear that. Come to me with what you think we need to do. Be a man so I could follow my man. Not no goddamn Bible scriptures that was used to enslave us. And so this is for my brothers. Also, if I make one for the sisters, I gotta make one for the brothers.
Napah, where you at? Where you at? Where my people at? I need you to help me on this mission. Yeah. This is for my brothers trapped in religion. Open up your eyes, break out of the prison. This is for my brothers trapped in religion. Sa.neter be the truth, you know he's on a mission. It's sad to see my brothers are so lost. It's sad to see you believe in things that's false. It's sad to see you believe in Jesus, or your logic breaks apart in 1,000 pieces. Oh, God killer, not gonna let that slide. You drowning in a myth, you had nowhere to hide. The HOK is the toughest environment. While we trade blind faith for mental empowerment. I believe in scriptures for your mind, this is the key. It's time to unlearn everything you believe. The house of consciousness, start looking within. That's where the real liberation begins. Oh, this is for my brothers trapped in religion. Open up your eyes, break out of that prison. This is for my brother trapped in religion. Sa.neter be the truth, you know he's on a mission. The HOK is more than just a place. It's a tough environment where you check your faith. Bomb squad and pseudo killers who check your sources. Don't come in front cause you will live for losses. The Bible written to break your spirit, built to keep you low, feeding you metaphors, stopping your growth. These is for my brothers trapped in religion. Sa.neter be the truth, you know he's on a mission. It's sad to see my brothers all so lost. It's sad to see you believe in things that's false. It's sad to see you believe in Jesus, while your logic breaks apart in 1,000 pieces.
All right, family. We're waiting on our sister. I just gave her a call. She should be in the building any minute now. Hope she's not having any technical difficulties coming in. This is going to be a good show right here. We got a sister who's from the continent of Africa, and she's going to break down some things that what they don't want us to know, what they don't want us to teach. All right? She go by the name of Setche. 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 I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Setche. And so that's what we're waiting on right quick. Anybody got anything they want to say? Before we get started. Setche is in the building. Setche is in the building. Peace and blessings.
Hello, Brother Senator.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. Can you explain to the people, introduce yourself, let them know what part of Africa you're from, and what you're going to be dealing with today?
So, my name is Setche Kwabunana. I am from Cameroon, and today I'm going to be talking about some Black history, but like way, way, way back, thousands of years ago, Black history, and sharing the story of my grandfather told me and why it took me 25 years to believe him. And, how does that relate to what we're experiencing today as a country, as a society, and all that good stuff. I can't hear you.
I said, wow, you're going to be going in on what
Yes.
Grandpa have taught you and what they don't want us to teach each other.
Yes.
So I'm waiting. I'm interested in hearing that. I want to first say peace and blessings to my brother Sekou for making this happen.
Yes, yay, Sekou. Sekou is online. Yay. Welcome, Sekou. Thank you for making this happen.
Yes, I want to thank my brother Sekou for making this happen, for getting us in touch with each other. I appreciate that. Well, Sekou is going to allow you first to deal with your presentation before he even get on the mic. So, sister, I pass you the floor.
Okay. How do I share my slide, my screen here? Okay, I think I see how to do it.
Uh-oh. You should have been practicing that. No, you went out now. You went out, sis. Hit the link back. Hit the link back. Sekou, what up, brother?
Good. Peace, sa.neter.
Thank you for bringing the sister through, brother. Appreciate you for that.
No problem. Oh, let's see what she got. She's been
she's trying to learn how to share her screen.
Yes, it's going to take a while, sa.neter. When I started here, you know how I used to struggle.
Right, I remember.
Yeah.
All right, here she go. Sekou, maybe you can guide her and show her how to do it.
I touched the wrong button.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take your time. It takes a while to understand these tech problems.
Why don't you help her, brother? All right, sister, open up.
I found
hold up.
Yeah.
Open up what you want to share, and then you see that plus sign all the way at the bottom is in the box.
Yeah. Okay.
Hit that plus sign, and whatever you want to share should be in that window. Click on it, and then say share.
Okay.
Do you see it, sis?
I do. I am in the process of sharing it now.
Okay. Bear with us, y'all. You know, we got the sister coming on, and she's coming in to bring some good information. Make no mistake about it.
Yep, it's going to be really good information. Okay.
Uh-oh, I think you got it. There it is. All right, you are now sharing your screen.
All right.
It's loading up. I see it loading up. There you go.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Reclaiming part 3, reclaiming hidden history. That grandfather stories and the power of knowing. Yep, let's get it.
Okay. Perfect. Sorry, it's taking me a little bit.
Loading it up.
Okay. Well, I like to start with this quote that I really love. Until the lion tells its own story, every story will glorify the hunter.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
And this is the premise of this history that I'm going to share, because it's African Heritage Month and Black History Month, right? So I'm taking you to the way back, into way back Black history, and way back African heritage. Before I get into this, though, since you mentioned Brother Sekou connected us, I wanted to say a little bit about how Brother Sekou and I know each other, because we're both planning a vigil for Mr. Imhotep, who was a creator here on YouTube and many other social media platforms. He passed away last year. So we're having a video for him. I'll share more about this, towards the end of the presentation.
Yeah.
Sorry?
No, I was saying, yes, do that. Make sure you do that.
Okay, yeah. So that's going to be on the 28th of February at the end of Black History Month and at 12 p.m. PST. But I'll share more about that later in this talk today. Okay, so I love that proverb. And I usually like to ask people what comes to their minds when they think of ancient Egypt. Like, who do they think built that civilization? And depending on what audience I'm in, I get varying answers. The majority tend to say white or Arabic or mixed interracial or something like that. And sometimes in some spaces, some people would say Black Africans. So when I was growing up, I like to start this whole talk with a story, right? When I was growing up, one of my favorite movies was The Mummy, the 1999 movie, The Mummy. And I loved it so much that I made everybody watch it, even people who didn't, even those who did not speak English. Like my grandfather, he barely spoke any English, and I made him sit down and watch the whole movie with me. And at the end of the movie, he looked at me and smiled, and he had some kind of smirk on his face. I'm like, what's going on? We called him Big Papa. And he said that this place that I'm so obsessed with, this is where our ancestors came from. And I laughed like, oh my God, Big Papa. I was like, Big Papa, I beg, what are you talking about? What do you mean this is where we come from? We are Black Africans, we eat fufu like it is nobody's business. We cannot come from Egypt. Egypt, in my mind, Egypt is made up of, Egyptians were white or Arabic with slick hair, they were geniuses. And so, and they were everything I'm told I'm not, right? And so I didn't believe my grandfather, and I just chalked it up to, I think he's getting old, even though in my culture, getting old doesn't mean, getting old actually means you're getting wiser, not that you're losing your mind. But I was like, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Fast forward, I moved to America many years later. I become an engineer. And later on, I eventually start working in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And one of my friends, a Black American, tells me, Setche, the ancient Egyptians were Black, right? And I was like, oh my God, not the we was king's delusion. I used to think this guy was smart. What happened? Again, I didn't believe him and I dismissed it. I thought it's just a way to cope with oppression. After centuries of being demonized and dehumanized, you've got to cling on to something. And so I thought it was just a way of coping with oppression. Again, I dismissed it. And then fast forward, I always used, since the time I've been in America, I always did presentations about Cameroon, where I come from. And one time in the course of my research, I came across, the claim that there's all these African tribes that hail from Egypt. And again, I dismissed it all. I'm like, yeah, it's oral history. Yeah, they claim that, but they also claimed many absurd things. Like there was fire walking and there was levitation and things like that. In my mind, again, because I couldn't believe that, then I dismissed the whole story that these people's oral history says they come from Egypt. So fast forward again in 2018, that's when a crack was finally formed in my head. I was in a bus from Palestine to Israel. And this guy stood next to me in the bus. He was a white guy from Florida. He told me he's just coming from Egypt. And he was shocked to see that most of the people on the sculptures and the temple reliefs and the paintings, they all look Black. And I was like, what is he talking about? Of course, I didn't believe him. So he pulled out his phone and showed me pictures he just taken on his trip in Egypt. And I was like, well, they aren't jet black. So, not really. I mean, I had fallen for the propaganda that the only true Black is jet black, as if even I am jet black. So again, I didn't believe him, but a crack had been formed. And then came the Netflix Cleopatra, debacle, which Netflix casted a half Black woman to play Cleopatra, and people in Egypt were all, they were very upset about it, saying that was a representation of their culture, their history, their religion. It was an insult to their history. And so finally I looked into this thing to find out what is all the fuss about, because I didn't understand why, white women have played Cleopatra for decades, and there wasn't an uproar about it. And now a half Black woman plays it, and there was an uproar. So I finally looked into that. And in the course of that was when I finally realized what my grandfather meant, right? I realized.
Get ready for your poll of the day.
Was that sound from me or from somebody else?
No, that was from me.
Okay,
that was my going crazy.
Okay, because sometimes my computer be playing random things that I didn't ask it to play. Okay. So I finally looked into this and realized there was all this evidence showing that ancient Egyptians were Black, the builders of the civilization. Now, the reason I had dismissed all these other people, right, was because I did not. Whenever I see anything about Egypt, I never saw Black people in any place of prominence. If they were ever in anything, any documentary, book, or movie about Egypt, they were as slaves or servants, and they were usually, and there's the narrative that the only Black people there mostly came in the later years, in subservient roles. So I didn't see myself in ancient Egypt. But now in the course of doing all this research, I saw with my own eyes, lots of things that showed that ancient Egyptians were Black. And we'll go through that in a little bit. But armed with all this evidence, every time I went home since then, since 2023, I began to see the evidence everywhere in my culture. And of course, one of the things I learned throughout this research was that the people from my tribe, the Bamileke tribe, hail from Egypt, migrated between 600 and 900 AD. Is it AD or BC? I don't know. What's the math? It's got to be AD. Yeah. AD is after Christ, right? Yeah, I think it's AD. They migrated during that time period, fleeing religious persecution. They didn't want to convert to Muslim, and so they fled and went to different parts of Africa. One of them being the Bamileke people in Cameroon, which is the tribe that I come from. So that is what my grandfather meant when he said, "This place where I love, this is where we come from." And I didn't believe him. I've been socialized not to value oral history. So anyway, yeah, it took me 25 years to believe him. So in this research, I saw lots of evidence from migration patterns to anthropological data, genetic data, historical accounts, a lot of linguistics. There's a lot of cultural links as well, and a lot of archaeological links to show that the ancient Egyptians were Africans and Black Africans. There was overwhelming scientific and historical and cultural evidence that proved all that. And then I also saw, of course, a lot of evidence proving, showing the Bamileke people's links to ancient Egypt. We have very similar words and symbols, names, writing structures between our language and between the Bamileke languages and the ancient Egyptian languages. And we have many shared cultural traditions, even in our funeral rites and our spiritual and ancestral worships. We have, even in our royal symbolisms and regalia, in our architecture and engineering, in our art, and also the oral histories about the migration patterns. So there's lots of evidence showing the Bamileke people's connections to ancient Egypt. It only took me 25 years to believe my grandfather. Can you believe that? So I will just show you a couple of things that helped in a couple of things I came across in the research just began to create a crack in my perception that there is no way ancient Egyptians could have been Black. There is no way I had any kind of cultural links or historical links to ancient Egypt. So one of the very first things that really took a crack in my mind was the hair. Looking at the different hairstyles, because when I go back to Cameroon and I see many, people really having in their everyday life, in their everyday hairstyles, and it looks so familiar to a lot of the things I saw in the ancient Egyptian culture. But I've been conditioned not to recognize this. So, for example, we can see some of these ancient Egyptians, right? These ancient Egyptian artifacts and their hairstyles, very similar to our West African artifacts and their hairstyles, which is similar to actual hairstyles that we wear today. Look at this one. We have all this these Egyptian statues here, and these are Africans you see today, still style their hair like this, still dress like this. And then there are so many cultural artifacts. Again, in this presentation, I'm just showing very few things. There is so much more, so much more. But there are some things I had come across in ancient Egyptian culture, some artifacts that just like blew my mind, like, oh, what is this? And then I go to Cameroon and I realized we also use this. If you go to the villages or the suburbs, you would see some of these things still in use and on sale. And I took pictures of them. So like the headrest you can see in ancient Egypt, they used this headrest usually made of wood, sometimes made of different metals. And we sell those in Cameroon too. Some people use them every day. Some people just use them now for decoration, but some people still use them as headrest. And I looked at a lot of some of our cultural artifacts. There's a lot of crocodile iconography in our tradition, in our culture. And that was and at first I used to think it was just decoration, like maybe it was just like crocodiles. But the more I looked into it, there is so much into the crocodile iconography in our culture, and it's a spiritual thing. There's just a lot that goes into it. And there's a familiar culture in ancient Egypt, a familiar practice, a lot of crocodile worship. There was a whole city called Crocodilopolis. I'm sure that Crocodilopolis is more like a modern name. That wasn't the original name of the city, I don't think. But I was learning about that whole culture and ritual around crocodiles and seeing how it parallels some of the cultures and rituals around crocodiles in the Bamileke culture. And then just seeing a lot of the art as well. Like in the past, I didn't, when I looked at ancient Egyptian artifacts, I didn't recognize the hair as afros until I studied in our own art. This is how we make afros. This is how we depict it. And I'm like, oh, it's the same thing. And then we have our traditional clothing, right? I grew up wearing this traditional clothing for like ever. And our traditional clothing is full of ancient Egyptian scientific motifs, as you can see from here. And then this is another traditional clothing that is common in Cameroon. As you can see here, this one in the middle is straight up hieroglyphs. Can you notice that, brother sa.neter?
Yes, I see it. Yep.
It is straight up hieroglyphs, like straight up.
Say Medu Neter.
Medu Neter, exactly.
There you go.
Yes, Medu Necha. In fact, there is a Bamileke language called Medu Mba.
Ah,
The Bamileke tribe has many different sub-tribes
right.
and many different languages, and one of them is called Medu Mba. um, so yeah, I wore this throughout my life growing up. Yet when my grandfather told me we came from Egypt, I was like, hell no, what is he talking about? It's getting too old. um, and then I also discovered now we've grown up under the assumption that, the white man saved us from ourselves. And, because of them, we have writing, we now have education, we now have all these things, total lies, right? Um, but that is a whole other conversation we don't want to get into today. But basically, we had our own histories, culture, civilizations, everything. We were doing well before the white man came. They did more damage than good, way more damage.
If anybody know, what's my man name? Say cool. The brother I was telling you to get Easy Bands. Easy Bands need to be in here.
Oh.
He need to listen. Please call Easy Bands and let him come in so he can listen. Go ahead, my sister. Go ahead.
Okay. Just hold on 1 second.
Peace to you, DMG. Shout out to you, brother.
DMG. Okay, so what happened? Okay, so I discovered that in Cameroon, in the Bamileke tribes, we actually have scripts, and they're very similar to hieroglyphics. For example, we have the Bagam script, where there's also the Bamun script. The Bamun is like a broader tribe to Bamilekes. The Bamuns are also known to have come from Egypt. There's many Cameroonian tribes that have the oral history of having migrated from Egypt. That includes, the Bamilekes, the Bassa, the Bamuns, the Awusas, and many more. They have links, to ancient Egypt. And so I discovered there's a whole Bagam script that looks very much like Medu Necha. And I also discovered the Nsibidi scripts, which is common also not among the Ejagam people and the Efik people of Nigeria and Cameroon. And I'm like, wow, so we had writing before the white man came. And then only for me to discover also that what we call today the alphabet will not exist if not us Black Africans, because the alphabet today came from Latin, which came from I don't remember. There's many languages like in between hieroglyphs and the alphabet. But without hieroglyphs, there will be no alphabet today. Because I think after hieroglyphs, you had the Phoenician alphabet, which was a derivative of hieroglyphs, and then after that there was the cuneiform or something, and then somewhere along the line you got Greek, and then you got Roman, before getting the alphabet today. So here I am thinking, growing up thinking we learned everything only through colonization. They came and taught us everything, whereas our ancestors actually taught them what they know. So here am I discovering all these things. And then I also see the face glyph. This one blew my mind. As you can see here, this is the glyph for face. This looks exactly like this actor. He almost even looks like my grandfather. If the Egyptians weren't Black, why would their glyph for face be a typical Black man's face? That wouldn't be possible. And then the Sphinx, I never knew that this is what the Sphinx looked like. The Sphinx looked like a typical African's face with subnasal prognatism. Whenever I saw the Sphinx in the media, it looked different. I did not know that is what it looks like. So in the course of that research, I was seeing all these things about Egypt that they don't normally show us, they don't normally teach us. That's why I couldn't relate to it when my grandfather said we came from there. And then just look at more similarities, right? These are ancient Egyptian art or artifact, very similar to West African. And Egypt was a culmination of African cultures from East Africa, Southern Africa, Western Africa, Central Africa, you know. So I was seeing a lot that I identify with in my culture. Look at Queen T here. Her statue looks just like Michelle Obama. And then you all are probably familiar with the kente cloth. This is a mummy right here. ancient mummy wearing straight up kente cloth. Their esophagus is basically kente, right? And there's so many artifacts, so many cultural things that we see. This was me last year, a couple years ago. I was getting coronated with a title Mafo, which Mafo means Queen Mother. This was after my mom passed away, and I was getting coronated as Mafo. I did not even know about this. I did not know the details that all these rites and traditions involved. But as I went through all this, again, it reminded me of the ancient Egyptian traditions and culture and spirituality. There I am again during the rites of becoming Mafo. And then this one really got me. It was in our names all along. It was in our names all along, right? It's like our names speak. Our names speak the knowledge that our names hold. For example, my last name, Kwame, which is also similar to a Ghanaian last name, Kwame, and that tribe in Ghana is also known to have these migration stories from Egypt. But very similar to some ancient Egyptian names, as you can see, Kamun, Knum, Kamutef, Amun. My brother's name, Yankam, very similar to Yankamu, Ankam, Yankare, all Egyptian names. My own name, also there's 3 people in my family who have my name, and they're the only 3 people I know with my name. And we all have different spellings. And no matter which way you spell or slice or dice it, there's a million Egyptian names that go with it. And it's funny because when I was little, my grandmother used to tell me, because the way she pronounced my name, like, oh my gosh, she made it sound like it's got like 4 syllables instead of 2. She'd be like, you know, I always told her, when you could call my name, it sounds like you're sneezing. And then she would tell me, she would retort by saying, hey, that's because, you know, the way we say your name now and the way we spell it is just because the white man couldn't pronounce it. They couldn't deal with it, you know. So this way that we're spelling and pronouncing it now is just a shortcut. But the real name sounded like a bunch of consonants you can't even pronounce. I could never pronounce my name the way my grandma pronounces it. But yeah, I was just, and this is just a couple of the names in my direct family. If you look at the names in my tribe, the Bamileke people in total, in general, so many of the names very similar with ancient Egyptian names. So isn't that crazy? It was in our names. The proof was in our names. It was on our hair. We even wore it on our bodies. It was in our traditions, our customs, our cultures. We even bore it in our names. Yet when my grandfather told me this is where we came from, I didn't believe him. So anyway, what I want people to reflect on, you know, like I said, this is just a couple things I wanted to show that kind of that helped to start forming that crack. But there's a lot more, so many more. We could have a bunch of videos, so many more. But I hope this inspires you to ask yourself, what histories have you been taught, whether explicitly or implicitly, you know, that you later found out were misleading or incomplete, or they were outright fabrications. I want you to think about that. And then I also love this saying, he who controls the past controls the future, and he who controls the present controls the past. Yes, the people who control the present are also controlling the past, right? If they can steal our ancestors and control who, you know, who the ancient civilizations were and so on, they can also control the future by perpetuating this myth that Black people are inferior and that we learned everything from the white man. So it's very important for us to reclaim our past, reclaim our histories. So when I hear Black history, I don't only think of Martin Luther King and the usual names and the usual timelines and the usual dates. I think of the way, way back Black history and the many, many dimensions that it has. Whether we're talking about the Black people in Egypt or the great empires of Mali or Zimbabwe or, other parts of the world too, I like us to talk about that way, way back history, because that gives us so much more. That gives us so much more perspective. So I like to, that's why I started a series called Beyond Black History. I like to go beyond Black history, what we typically think of or hear in the mainstream when we hear Black history. I want us to go beyond those names, go beyond those dates, and also, in addition to going beyond the names and the dates and the stories, let's also go beyond the learning. Now, when we take this learning, what do we do with it? How does it impact how we show up in our organizations? How does it impact how we perceive, who is worthy of promotion or who is competent in the organizations? It impacts us in so many ways, but that's a whole nother conversation. But the point is, we need to go beyond just the learning of the histories. Like, how does that affect us in the day-to-day? Let me pause. Do we have any questions before I continue? The next part, I was just going to talk about how did we get here? What are some of the tools that we use to ensure that I wouldn't believe my grandfather?
Yeah, the information you're bringing through so far is great. You're showing your steps on how you became conscious, which is a great thing, and guess what? You're not the only one that's going through it. Some people still haven't reached that level yet. It might take them more years and more years to get to that point where you at. And you're only going to get better, because everything pertaining to Africa, it all came from us. Writing, mathematics, agriculture, all of that. It all came to us. And better late than never. You know what I'm saying? Better late than never. Always remember that, because now you got something great to teach your babies from the beginning. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
You want to say anything? And I want to ask you as well. Were you a religious person at first? Islam, Christianity? What?
Yes, Christian.
And what happened with that?
I'm not sure I want to talk about it on TV.
Well, you're still clinging to it a little, I can see.
Yes, of course, I am clinging to it.
That's where Christianity come from. When you look and study ancient Egypt, it all comes out of there.
I know.
Of course, they are changing up a little bit. And of course, they're going to try to change up stuff. And, when you look at Jesus, you can look at a lot of things where it all come out of. Ancient Egypt is the original place of where religion come from.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Islam as well.
Yes.
And so what happened is the white man is so clever. We can't underestimate him. He make Africans drop their religion and pick up his way of life. So I wanted to add that.
Yeah, thank you. That is a whole nother topic for me. But yeah, I grew up very religious. So even though I've been through this whole transformation of questions and just seeing, a lot of things I never used to see before, I'm still, I grew up. That's another conversation. But there's lots of questions to be asked and answered. Okay, so I'll carry on with the next part, which is how did we get here? Because after having these realizations and saying that it took me 25 whole years to believe my grandfather, I'm like, how is that possible? Because now everything looks so obvious to me. It was hiding in plain sight. When I go home to Cameroon every day, the evidence is in front of me every day. I'm like, it was hiding in plain sight. How did it take me 25 years? and a lot of touch points and a lot of different, routes through which I could have believed. I didn't believe my African American friend who told me that. I didn't believe even the guy I sat next to in the bus. I didn't believe the research I saw when I was preparing for my presentations about Cameroon. I'm like, I didn't understand how a number was done on me. So this next part would be about that. And this is not news to anybody, right? A whole bunch of us already know this.
All right, hold on for 1 minute. Apostle, you're the only one here that can, if she need help, I need you to help her out. I got to go in the kitchen and get something ready. Just let her talk, brother. All right.
Okay, thank you. So the first culprit, of course, is Hollywood. Hollywood and its whitewashing of ancient Egypt. So we can see the Sphinx. This is what the real Sphinx looks like, but however, this is what you always end up seeing in media when they're showing you the Sphinx. It ends up looking someone like this, like a white man and not a black person. You see that in any of the movies or so-called documentaries about ancient Egypt, they'll depict the rulers and the gods as white or Arabic looking. And then if there's any black people there at all, they're usually slaves or servants or some other subservient role. And then look at this example of Pharaoh Hatshepsut. This is her bust right here. Look at the color. The same as this Nigerian journalist who's standing next to her. They have the exact same color. But when this woman makes it to Hollywood, she transforms into a white woman. This is her bust. This is her bust. And every bust of painting or painting of her is always brown. Yet, when she makes it into Hollywood, she's always a white woman. Right? They also have forged and manipulated artifacts. Everybody knows Nefertiti, right? The image that comes to everyone's mind of Nefertiti is this lady right here, and this is actually a fake. And that's a whole nother story. There's lots of evidence to prove that this bust of Nefertiti is a fake. But if you Google Nefertiti, this is what's going to come up. However, this is what the real Nefertiti looks like. This is what the real Nefertiti looks like. This is what the real Nefertiti looks like. There are hundreds of busts and paintings and reliefs showing Nefertiti. But the one that has been publicized is the fake one of Nefertiti. And Nefertiti, why is she even so popular? In the grand scheme of things, she's not the most important woman in ancient Egyptian, history and culture. She didn't really do anything in particular. There's many other ancient Egyptian women who are more prominent, who had a significant impact on the culture, on the history. But why is Nefertiti so popular? Oh, because she looks European, really. It's because of this fake bust that has been getting parodied around as her. And that's why she's popular, because she looks European. And look, the museums and the internet is littered with fake artifacts or manipulated artifacts. Here's another example, and this is one of many examples. Prince Rahotep and Queen Setche. I don't know how to pronounce the name, and it almost sounds like man. This is what you see in the museums. And this is a total fake. This is a total forgery. As to why it's a fake, that's a conversation and video for another day. But Brother Thrill Black and Professor Amin Pin did a great show about this, showing exactly why this was fake and some other artifacts as well. This is the real one. Look, these people are blacker than me, but somehow they transform into whites when you see them in museums or on the internet. If you Google them, what will come up will be the fake ones. Look at many of the artifacts have missing noses, even the Sphinx. And what they'll try to tell you that it's always iconoclasm, or it's, they'll try to give some spiritual reason for why they're missing noses, but we all know why they're really missing noses. And then we have reconstructions. Every time they publish a paper, yeah, we now know what this person looks like. And they give you reconstructions. Again, those are very misrepresented. For example, Queen T, who is a Black woman, this is what her reconstruction should look like. But when they reconstruct her, she ends up looking something like this white woman. How does this statue, how does this bust go to looking like this white woman? Even if we're talking about King Tut, this is King Tut. If you see him in any of his statues, in any of the reliefs about him, he is a very dark brown chocolate brother, but he always ends up with this, other look that doesn't represent who he is. And when he shows up in the movies, of course, he's usually a white dude. And then, of course, Nefertiti, again, look at how she gets represented in reconstructions. All the reconstructions the mainstream ever did of her is a white woman. They use a fake bust to create reconstructions of fake people that didn't exist. And then this one is the one that trips me a lot because this wasn't done in 1900, y'all. This wasn't done in 1800. This was done last year. Wait, I think it was 2024 or 2025. Now we're in 2026, so it would have been year before last. Yeah, so just a year ago, this was done. This is Amenhotep III. And look at what he's become. Like, how do you go from this to this? This guy doesn't even have lips. He doesn't even have lips. You want us to believe? You want us and our children and our grandchildren to believe that a man who looked like this, who is depicted like this in his hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of artifacts, actually look like this in reality? Impossible. Impossible. This is a whole lot of whitewashing. This is the same Amenhotep we just saw. Look at, this is a straight up Black man with an afro. Look at this hairstyle. You still see it today. You still see it today in Africa. But when he gets whitewashed, we end up with Rami Malek, as the person depicting Amenhotep III. And then there's an uproar that Eddie Murphy would be made to depict, to act as Amenhotep III, that it's not supposed to be a Black man, it's supposed to be an actual modern Egyptian. Somehow when it comes to, we're able to accept that the modern Americans are not the Native Americans, are not the people who originally inhabited this land. We're able to know that the modern Australians are not the original ones. So for many other places, we're able to compute that. But when it comes to Egypt, somehow we want to put our heads in the sand, and they want us to believe that that country never changed population, that how it is today is how it's always been. I wasn't born yesterday, even though from the looks of it you think I was, because it took me 25 years, right, to believe my grandfather, because of all this brainwashing, because of all these tactics in the media that cause us not to be able to escape our socialization. All right, the other thing so this particular reconstruction of Amenhotep, one of our brothers, the King's Monologue, he has a channel called the King's Monologue. He actually confronted the artist, the reconstruction artist who was commissioned to do this reconstruction. He confronted him like, what is this? This looks nothing like the depictions of him in his contemporary times. And you know what the reconstruction artist said? His name is Caesarion or something like that. He's from somewhere in South America, I believe. But he said that his reconstruction is a lot more accurate than any of the depictions that were made of the king during his lifetime, because his reconstruction is scientific, whereas the ones made during his lifetime were all artistic. That these were all artistic styles, whereas his reconstruction is based in science, because he used simulations of the bone and skeletal structures and whatever, and this is what he came up with. So this is more scientific. So you see how they continue to use so-called science to actually erase our history, erase our identities, erase our faces from our ancestors. You're trying to tell me that this is more scientific because you use some simulations of his bone structure. This is more scientific than the people who were with this pharaoh in real life and who painted or sculpted him in real life. So you're telling me today, if I want an artist to make an accurate depiction of me, I need to go get a CT scan? And that's what they're going to use to make an accurate depiction of me in a painting or a sculpture? That is ridiculous. Or you're trying to tell me that back in the day, thousands of years ago, when maybe they didn't have CT scans, in order for them to have painted or sculpted the pharaoh exactly as he is, they would have had to, crack his skull open and study the brain structure, the bone structure, and then come up with a sculpture that actually looks like him. That is ridiculous. But guess what? Would say anything, the mainstream would say anything to continue to steal our identities and steal our faces. When you go to the museums, you don't see these African kings. These are just some of the kings, the African rulers who were foundational to establishing the Egyptian civilization. When you go to the museums, you don't see them there. Why? Because either they're not there at all, or if they're there, they're in the back room somewhere. The people you see at the front of the museum, in the center of the museum, will be those white, it will be those white-looking artifacts. Sometimes it's the straight up fakes. And even though some of these museums have acknowledged that these artifacts are fake, they have still not removed them from the museum. They're still being parroted as the face of ancient Egypt. So in the front and center of the museums, you see those fake ones or even real ones, but real ones that are from the later stages of Egypt, right? Because Egypt did gradually, eventually change population until what it is today. So in the museums, many of the time, the people you see in the forefront are the people from like the New Kingdom and even much later, or the people from Cleopatra's time, which is, much later, more of the end of Egypt. So, but these real people who were foundational to it, you would hardly see them. And then you might be familiar with Pharaoh Ramses, right? This is a carving of Ramses, a relief of Ramses when he was young. As you can see, this hairstyle on Ramses is still the way the Himba boys in Africa do their hair till today. Where do we see any white people doing their hair like this? Look at the culture, look at his outfit, look at everything. This is very reminiscent of what the African boys still do today. But we're trying to say Ramses was some white man. So same thing here. This is all about the selective exposure. They'll expose, you go to the museums and everywhere, they'll be showcasing random, non-African looking people as the face of Egypt instead of prominent Black rulers who were foundational to Egypt. And then we have the reverse one drop rule. But we'll watch this video. Okay, let's watch this video for a couple seconds.
Welcome back. The only way to answer this is to make sure that you and I both know what we mean exactly with the word black. And I've noticed that some academics these days love dancing around this one because it's controversial and they don't want to offend anyone. So what do? They say, oh, but the ancient Egyptians didn't have these modern concept of black people and white people. That's a modern construct. So they were neither. That's dodging the question. So let me be 100% crystal clear here. Did the entirety of the population of Egypt or the majority of the population of Egypt look like this handsome man? No. The ancient Egyptians were a multi-ethnic African civilization. It was multi-ethnic because of its very geographical position, a connection between Africa, the Mediterranean basin, and Asia, a strategic location on the crossroads of continents. The Egyptian civilization.
All right. So some of you might be familiar with Metatron, right? You might be familiar with him, and all his videos around the ancient Egyptians were not Black. And a popular belief is that they were not Black, they were multiracial. And I fell into that as well. I didn't just go from they were not Black, they were Arab or white to like, okay, they were Black, at least in their foundation. There was a progression. I first went, I kind of progressed into, okay, yeah, maybe they weren't black, they were multiracial. Okay, maybe they were this. Until now, I realized, no, they were black. They did eventually become multiracial and then eventually more monoracial, like they are today. They're still black Egyptians, but they're few and far between because of the way also they've been systemically pushed out. But this whole idea that Egypt was a multiracial society, it makes it sound like it belonged to everyone and to no one, and fits into the black trope, into the trope that Black people couldn't be responsible for anything great, right? So even if it's true that at some point in Egyptians' history it became heavily multiracial, let's not forget that its foundation was Black. And then one way I realized they were tricking my mind is through the reverse one drop rule, right? So we all know the one drop rule in America that says if you are a drop of Black, then you are Black, and that's the way they increase their, excuse me, their slaves, the people they're enslaved. If you had one drop of Black, that makes you Black, so now you are one of their slaves. And however, when it comes to ancient culture and history, they apply the reverse of the one drop rule. They switch it up to, if you have a drop of, if you're not jet black, then you're not Black, right? So for example, one that often gets used is this relief right here. You have Pharaoh Ramses attacking the people he's fighting with, the Kushites. And they say, you see, this skin color depicts white because this is the ancient Egyptian color, which is different from the Kushites who are Black. So they're trying to tell you that unless you're jet black in the painting, you're Egyptian, and if you're jet black, then you are Black African.
All right, my sister, excuse me. What video was you trying to show?
Oh, did the video not show?
Yeah, which video you was trying to show?
It was a Metatron video. Did it not show?
Yeah, how long?
I was just trying to show like a 1 minute portion of it.
Long as you stop it and give some commentary to it, this is fair use. Fair use.
Yeah, I gave commentary to it.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. They seen it.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. So yeah, I was talking now about the reverse one drop rule, which is also what Metatron, the guy from the video, uses a lot. They say that this brown pigmentations here, this reddish brown, it's not Black people. It's gotta be white people or olive skin, right? We forget that these people here being depicted as the Kushites. They say the Kushites are only Black, but as you can see, among the Kushites are both Black, jet Black, and brown people who have the same skin color as Pharaoh Ramses. So that tells you that the Kushites and the Egyptians were the same people, same stock, same race. And that is a number of different shades of Black, not just jet Black. So look, for example, in my family, there is a number of different shades of Black. But these people will try to have us believe that the only true Black is the jet Black shade, and everything else is not Black. It's gotta be white, olive, or whatever they want to call it. This is only within my family. If these colors were gonna be represented on a painting, don't you think some of them will be reddish brown, some of them will be jet Black? We don't even have a real jet Black person in this picture. But just in my immediate family already, there is so many different shades.
Shammai's ethnicity.
Well,
Can you hear?
they have just told me that Shammai
Yes,
has
yes, I can hear.
Nubian feature, which means that their ruling family was probably Nubian, and that was unexpected.
Examining Shammai's anatomy closely, the thickness of his bones and the shape of his nasal cavity, The anthropologists think he was a black African, likely from neighboring Nubia. A huge revelation that challenges the prevailing image of the Egyptian ruling class.
We always thought the ancient Egyptian elite were Mediterranean type. And in this sense, Shema is representing the society of the frontier in which different ethnic groups were mixed. At the end, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. Shema was Egyptian.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard all of that. The bottom line is...
Yes, we heard it.
Okay. But I don't know if you noticed the trick there. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. He was Egyptian. So when they thought Egyptians are white or Arabic, oh, it really mattered. And now that there's clear evidence that the rulers were black, it's like, oh, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. They spend an eternity telling us that the color of our skin matters and it means something. And when that is proven otherwise, oh, the color of your skin doesn't matter. He was Egyptian. And then we now have this amorphous Egyptian race. So you have people who have the camp. The Egyptians were not black or white. They were Egyptian. They were a separate race of people that no longer exist. Like, it's a crime if you say, oh, they were black. So you have the people in the multiracial camp. They were multiracial, or they were the Egyptian race, or they were aliens, right? And then you have the ones who are still gung-ho and they were white. Or they're Middle Eastern. So there's all these many different deflections as to what were the race of the ancient Egyptians. The other thing they use to manipulate us is DNA studies that get weaponized. They represent them in a way that gives off the narrative they want to give off, as opposed to what their true narrative, as opposed to what the DNA studies actually show. A lot of people in the mainstream like to quote the 2017 Abu Sir study that says, their analysis revealed that ancient Egyptians shared more ancestry with Near Easterners than present-day Egyptians, who received additional sub-Saharan admixture in recent times. So they're trying to say the reasons there's any black people in Egypt right now is because of, recent slave trade. That's why there's black people in Egypt today. That there was more black people in Egypt today than there were in ancient times, which is totally false. Because if you read that same study, you would just see all the discrepancies, and you see that it's totally been phrased. The headlines have been phrased to give off an impression that it's not actually what the study discovered. That is not actually what the study is saying. But that is a conversation for another day. So one of the main things here is that one of the main themes I'm seeing is that it's not that there is a lack of evidence, is that the evidence is being overridden, right? It's the bias about who the ancient cultures belong to. It's not about lack of evidence, it's about overriding the evidence. Just last year, I saw a newspaper article about this pharaoh that was on, they uncovered or something. I don't know do you notice anything about this pharaoh's attire? Doesn't this look just like a dashiki?
Yes.
I know, I was like shocked. I'm like, this looks just like a dashiki. I'm like, no way. Again, that's why the evidence, the bias is not lack of evidence, it's an overriding of the evidence. Yet, if you read what the article itself said and so on, there's no indication, that these people had anything to do with Africa. We still would constantly associate them with something else or someone else. But anyway, there is a video I want to recommend. Oh, here's let's watch this one.
Inscriptions. In fact, It is impossible to visit the Karnak temple in Luxor and not see the recent defacement, and it is suspicious that, with rare exception, Egyptologists are silent about this matter. And if you have any doubt, here is Zahi Hawass, the previous Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, a position he held twice. So you would expect someone of his position and influence to hold a scientifically sound position on the matter. But I will let you listen to his now famous statement.
No, they were dark skinned, but they were not black. But they're not Negro. Because look at the lips of the Negroes like that and the nose like this. It's not really the Egyptian origin at all. It's different, completely different. And this is why you cannot connect the Egyptian civilization with the African at all. It's different. Or from Syria, Palestine, Mesopotamia, it's different.
So now, how do you think Zahi Hawass would act if he found artifacts in opposition to his publicly stated opinion? If the person in the top leadership position when it comes to ancient Egypt thinks this way, after having seen all of the artifacts that I have shown, after having read all these studies that clearly demonstrate that the Kemetu were genetically and phenotypically black, and if the leader acts this way, how then do the army of managers and the government employees act when they face yet another artifact that is clearly black?
All right, as you can see, I'm sure some of you here already know Zahi Hawass. He's famous in the circles because he's the guy, who goes around trying to ensure that everybody thinks the ancient Egyptians had nothing to do with Black people, nothing to do with the Africans.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I will stop there today. There's a lot more, and then I do have like a part 2 and a part 3. There's different things. And I have a whole talk I do around, okay, how does that affect today? How does that show up? And how does that impact us? So there's many other directions this can go, but I want to stop there for today. I would recommend this video though. We wouldn't watch, I would just show what it is. It's called How to Steal a Civilization Like a Boss. I think this video provides a really good summary. It's from the late, great Mr. Imhotep. It's called How Europe Stole. Are you able to? I don't think it's showing, huh? I think it's
not showing yet.
Okay, I think it's still.
What's showing is how did we get here? That's still showing.
Okay, I guess because of what I'm sharing, you can't see the video. Let me see. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, let me go back to the sharing. Share screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, we see it now.
Okay, yeah, we won't watch it here because it's like 9 minutes, but I'd recommend everyone to watch this video. It's a very nice, good summary about how to steal a civilization like a boss. This really good summary about, that really shows why it took me 25 years and a lot of work to believe my grandfather. So everyone should go watch this video. Okay, stop sharing that one. Go back to sharing this order.
All right, you sharing your video. How did we get here? Why did it take me 25 years?
Yes. So yeah, the evolving narrative around Africa, some people, the Greeks and the Islamic scholars and the medieval Europeans, etc., they all acknowledge that ancient Egypt was Black and African. This whole idea that Egypt is not Black is actually a new thing. And it's a new thing that really started in the 17th century. That's when they began to racialize history as the slave trade was beginning to take stronger hold. And then so Egypt they started to rebrand Egypt as a white European place. And eventually there was pushback, and then the branding shifted to, okay, it was Middle Eastern, it was Arabic, and then there was pushback, and eventually became, okay, it was multiracial, it was multi-ethnic. And then some people stuck with it was a unique Egyptian race of orange-skinned people. And then some people think it's aliens. So that leads me to the creation of Middle East and Sub-Saharan Africa. I no longer use the term Sub-Saharan Africa. That's a story for another day. But the narrative is very harmful. And that's why I no longer use it. But that's a conversation for another day. All right, should we play this game or not?
This is how.
Let's see. All right, let's not play this game.
All right, are you ready for me? The questions and answers for you?
Yes.
This is how ancient.
Let me just.
All right.
Do you want to see what ancient Egyptians look like?
Yes, go ahead.
Ta-da!
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Man, that is crazy right there.
Right? Remember, he who controls the past controls the future. He who controls the present controls the past. And yeah, I'm ready for you. Yeah, that is not what ancient Egyptian looks like. I'm ready for you.
But sister, this is nothing new.
I
We
know.
should be surprised because they have robbed us of our culture and they have taken everything. Everything. And I would say in another about 10 more years, when this generation is no longer here and the younger people coming up that never heard of Michael Jackson, he will be white too. Michael Jackson will be white in another, I would say about 20 years. He was a white man.
I hope not. I hope that because of the work you're doing and the work all these people are doing in these spaces, we'll not allow that to happen. And that we'll be taking back our faces and our history and everything.
Yeah, he will be white. Just like they
I bet Prince is gonna be white too.
Yeah, remember, they took our history. They took rock and roll from us. They took all of this stuff. Yeah, what's up, Sabir?
That was a good presentation. How do you pronounce your name? Is she still here? I think she got knocked. Did she get knocked off? Sekou, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Do you know what happened to her? Can you
No,
call
it's
her?
the technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and speak, Sekou. Turn on your camera.
Give me a minute here. Let me put on some clothes. I was just now. Yeah. You can open the floor, sa.neter. I'm getting ready. Oh, come on. We can hear you. You are muted.
He's good.
Okay.
Yeah, what you were saying, Sekou?
He's getting dressed.
Okay, I got you, Sekou. Do your thing. Apostle, what do you think about what you heard from the sister?
Very interesting, man. I enjoyed it. I guess you're gonna do a part 2 and at least part 3. So I'm looking
What I
forward.
like about it is that her steps into consciousness.
Yes.
And that's how a lot of people came in.
Right.
It reminded me of myself a little bit when the nation of gods and earth used to come to me and tell me, why are you looking up in the sky for God when you know you're the God? And I would tell them, man, get out of here, man. What are you talking about? Y'all dudes are crazy. And so it didn't hit me yet. You know, so a lot of us came into that like that. A lot of us. What do you think, Suntan?
You know, I think it's great. You know why? Because she come from like sister, what's your name?
Setche.
Sister Setche, you come from identical paradigm as me because I was Christian top to bottom, right? I was brought up that way. And then just through chronology made me go back until where it all came from. And when I went back, I found monotheism. And then before that, I found polytheism. So my whole journey is sort of similar to yours. You said it took you 25 years, when it took me like 7 because of the House of Consciousness. So I can identify with where you coming from, right? I'm just still a little, you know, everything is subjective in this thing called religion because we still got brothers who's saying that Africa was, Egypt was another color. You know what I'm saying? They were saying that we're not. Now, when I say we, I mean people of our complex, people on this panel wasn't there are, you know, people of that time. I put it like that. I think that's a better way to put it. When I know good and dang on well that they had to be because say Ku can vouch for that and you can vouch for that because you guys are from Africa. So we hear this from the guy, we hear this from American guys. Oh, Egypt wasn't black and blah, blah, you know, it wasn't, you know, we hear all these different things. So I can identify with you and keep teaching and let's keep living and learning. I'll say that much.
Thank you, Elder Suntan. Suntan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Where are you from? Where are you located?
In Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit. Okay, cool. It's nice to meet you.
You as well. Like I say, our paths are sort of identical. That's why I can identify with you. Because you politely told sa.neter that you was a Christian first. See what I'm saying? So I can like that Saku was he was a you know, not Arabic, but he was with Islam. So it's different directions that you guys can go over in Africa, right? And it's just I'm just glad that I can hear from somebody who's over there than to hear from people who are over here. Even though a lot of people over here well studied, but you guys is just like next door to Egypt, I would say. So that's my contention with the people over here who's saying that Egypt wasn't black. You know, you got it's just it's funny to me, but I'm able to deal with it now a little better because I don't judge nobody. You know, everybody is got a different interpretation of things, and it's all objective. So I'll leave it there.
Right.
Suntan's still Christian. Don't let him fool you.
Stay cool. What you got, brother?
Sorry, what?
Peace, sa.neter, peace. Thank you, Setche, for coming on and doing this great presentation. Peace to everyone on the panel, by the way. Shout out to the Elder Suntan and our Apostle. Peace and blessing to everyone. Sa.neter. So this is like sa.neter put it very well. You know, it is coming into consciousness. And sa.neter has become a scholar by just organizing these debates. sa.neter have a very good way of grabbing information. He characterized your information tonight as your journey into consciousness, which is very, very important because this is how all of us had our journey. You will explain your journey tonight. The information might sound basic to some people, might sound, but it is your journey, your personal journey and your story of how you discovered that baby steps that you took. So my own story is there. I wrote so many times on Facebook about it. I call it the journey to consciousness. There are so many things you go through. There are so many information you pass by and you don't even get it until something clicks. Then you go like, oh, okay. The reason being our educational system has been captured.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be informed. The purpose of education is acquire skills and be informed and increase critical thinking. But the education that we've been given is indoctrination to a point that we are fixated on Eurocentrism and we are not able to even see things from our own perspective, from our historical perspective. So it's very difficult, even the most educated Black person or African, to bring them into consciousness because they've gone too far. They think they know it all. So it's difficult. So it is some of us who have taken our baby steps are able to even see some of these hidden things. So I appreciate your presentation tonight, from your grandfather's information to your own discovery. It is great, 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 great. My journey, very quickly, my own journey to consciousness began a few years back. It began first with me questioning Islam, where I come from, you know, the religion. And I traveled to the Arab world and saw how they treated Black people. And I was like, wait a minute, how did such a religion, how did God, my question was not even the people, I was questioning the divine itself. This is how radical I am. I'm like, why did you reveal Islam to such a hostile and brutal people, and for them to come and teach us this religion? So why did you do that? I started blaming God first. I wasn't even blaming the religion.
Excellent question, brother.
Yeah.
That touches me right here.
I went to my room. I'm like, God, I want to ask you some questions. Why did you give these people Islam to come teach us? We should have taught them, because they do not have humanity. So we have humanity. We see all people as part of the earth. They do not see it that way. So you should have given us the religion to teach them humanity. Then from there, I turned the question around. I said, wait a minute. What if it's not even God who gave it to them? What if they made it up?
Right.
Okay. Then I moved to another step. These are my baby steps. Then eventually, I started reading Diop work, you know, African original civilization. And then Egypt popped up. But all of that, I was struggling with it. Then I came across sa.neter channel, you know, all the way in Europe, in Italy. And I was watching. I watched the channel for 2 years without saying a word. 2017, 2018, I was more than that. I've been watching it without even typing a comment. I just come on and listen. There, at that time, it was polite. It was all these people. It was a street debate. It wasn't in a, like you have it now, people sitting down with slides. It was on the street. And sa.neter used to have these pictures of Jesus pictures, and then Martin Luther King, and I asked people, who is the savior? And some African would be passing and they would choose Jesus, the picture Jesus, and so he's their savior and not the Black people who died for them. So that's where everything started to click in my head. And I'm like, okay, this is it. And I finally made my decision. I read on ancient Egypt. I began to make a connection because I speak the Hausa language. I heard you made allusion to Hausa language tonight. Yeah, the Hausa language is classified by linguists as an Afro-Asiatic language, which I believe is bullshit, but that's the problem of history for linguistics to fix. But it's Afro-Asiatic. Many Kemetic terms, even the word Ra, all of that is for sun in Hausa language. The word for sun is Rana. The word Ra is in there. And many, many other things, even the T that you have for feminine. In Kemet, you put a T to indicate that the word is feminine. It's like that in Hausa language. You have to add T to always show that this word refers to feminine people. You see? So if I will say to a man that I can hear you, I will say in Hausa, Najinka. Naji, but you will say ta. You will put Najinta. T-A to the word. You add T to it for it to sound like you are referring to a female person. All the verbs is like that in Hausa. So you can see the closeness. You can see the spirituality, even the Hausa cosmology. So there are things like that that begin to click for you, and you say yes. The issue of ancient Egypt being Black or African is always debated here on this channel, unfortunately. But we crashed that debate many times, and people do not want to get it. I'll close with it very quickly with the video you posted, where Zahi Hawass said they were dark-skinned but they were not Negro. He said the silent part out loud. Do you know he was not the original owner of that quote? That quote,
really?
Yeah, that quote goes back to 19th century from Champollion Jean Champollion Jacques, the Champollion who deciphered the hieroglyph, his brother. Okay, let me explain. The Champollion who deciphered the hieroglyphs, his name was Jean Champollion. He deciphered the hieroglyph and he said the ancient Egyptians were black. But his brother used to be in Europe. He was a white supremacist. He said dark skin and kinky hair does not qualify the ancient Egyptian to be Negro. Dark skin. So if you are dark skin and you have kinky hair and you live in Africa, what are you?
Right.
And he said dark skin and the kinky or was curly hair does not suffice to call ancient Egyptian Negro. In other words, he admits that they are dark skinned. He admits that they have curly hair, but they are not Negro. Why? Because Negro for them, it has a cultural meaning. It's a man who is incompetent, who is caught in an evolutionary cycle. He's unable to create civilization. He is backward and he is genetically inferior. So that's what Diop said in his book. We have been looking for that Negro. We don't find him. He only exists in the head of the white man because there is no such Negro in Africa and there is no such Negro in America. He only exists as a creation of white supremacists, and that's where he lives. Whether he is black or white, we are yet to find such a Negro who has not created civilization. But as far as we know, black people did create civilization, and ancient Egypt was part of their intellectual, cultural legacy.
You know, brother say cool. I wish I could have caught Brother La at an early age myself, but I don't know what Brother La was into in 2000. I wish I could have caught him, because if I would have caught him, he would have been ready, you know. But right now he's too deep into the Arabs' religion. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, he was never an Arab Muslim. He was in the Nation of Islam, and he believed that the black man is God. And what Khalid used to always tell us, when people change from Christianity to Islam, to the Arab Islam, he always used to say, all you did was exchange one slave master for another slave master. That's all you did. You just exchanged one slave master for Arab slave master. That's all you did. And that's 100% correct. You know what I'm saying? And so the same thing you said about Islam, and you asked God the question, why give this to these Arab, nasty, filthy people? As you were saying that, I was saying to myself, why would you also give Christianity to a people to enslave us? Like, where's that coming from? You give Christianity to a people to use the book against us as well, to enslave us. That's really deep. What you got to say, my sister, about all this?
What's what?
I said, do you have anything you would like to say?
That part is what I'm coming to learn as well, you know, about the Arab, the relationship with about people replacing, you know, one oppressor for another. I'm still learning about the Arab process of things. And I'm also learning that even the Arabs used to be black. So, and I know you said earlier that all this is not new, which it is not new. It's just new to me. It's just new. It's just new to me. It's taken me 25 years, and I really finally got out of denial in about all this. Just like within the last, I probably got out of denial maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And then it was another journey to be able to talk about it publicly. Because, you know, I used to think people who talk like this were crazy. And so it took a while for me to actually be able to talk about it and not think I'm crazy, or not fear that people would think I'm crazy. Which is why when I tend to talk about it, I like to be armed with all my facts. And, you know, I need to show some pictures. I need to show some proof. Because in my mind, I am still operating under that white supremacist construct. such that I can't even just talk. I have to be like, I have to talk and show facts so that you don't think I'm crazy. Even though other people already knew all this, but I didn't. I learned a lot. I've been learning a lot. So with respect to what you were saying about the Arabization, what's the word? Arabization. What is the word?
All right, Apostle, you want to get it in?
Sorry, say that again.
No, I was talking to Apostle.
He's talking to me. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Setche. Setche. Nice to meet you. Are you living in Africa now, or are you in England?
I live in San Diego, California.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. How long you been in America?
20 years.
20 years. You like it?
How
old were you when you came here?
I was 20.
You was 20?
Yeah.
Wow. You came for school family?
Yeah. I came for college.
Okay.
I studied chemical engineering at Iowa State University.
Oh, okay.
All right, here's the most important question. Watch this.
Oh, man, what are you doing?
Let me cut in for a minute because I don't want to go too far. Okay, sister. Hey, shout out to Juju. Shout out to you, Juju. Juju been over in Africa. I wish you hit the panel so you could tell us about your experience, Juju. That'd be beautiful if you come in and tell us your experience. I don't know if she's still over there. She might be, but she over there doing her thing. She have gotten married. Juju gotten married, and she's off and running to the races. She did her thing. Let me ask you, sister. You've been over here for 20 years. Mm-hmm. Since you've been here on American soil, have you given birth to any child yet?
Not yet. I wish, but not yet. We're still praying for that.
Wow, because I was going to ask you the important question. Let me ask you, when you do give birth to your firstborn child, would that child be African or African American to you?
That's a political question, though.
Yeah.
I think it'll be both. If the child will be both to me.
Yeah, politically, he would be African American politically. But in politically, he would be African American.
Right.
I think the father would have a lot to say about that too, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because the reason I asked that is because I asked a lot of African sisters here and the fathers, and they straight up say African. They don't say he's American. When I asked them, did your wife give birth here? He said, yes. And then I say, well, is your child African American or African? And he straight up say African.
For me, it'll be both. I'm very proud of my African American brothers and sisters and the heritage. I started to come to my consciousness through African Americans. You know, I wouldn't know more about my African. I wouldn't be more African conscious today if it wasn't for my African American brothers and sisters. So I'll be very proud of my child. I don't even feel worthy of being called African American. And I'd be very proud of my child to bear that label. And I don't think that would take anything away from their Africanness. And I don't think their Africanness would take anything away from the fact that they were born in America. I think my child can be both and I'm very proud of both. I'm very proud and grateful to my African-American brothers and sisters here, because that's my level, my journey of consciousness started with them. They actually helped me.
My sister, you teaching right now. You teaching folk that consider themselves.
Hold on. Because Live have said some damaging things about Juju. He said Juju have become Muslim. Allahu Akbar. I don't believe that until I hear it from Juju. I need to hear that from Juju. And Juju, I'm asking you, are you a Muslim now, sister?
Well, yeah, this is that.
No, she's not. Because she threw up the emoji. Oh, well, hold up. Yes, Brother La? Hold on, Juju. Are you a Muslim now, Juju? Please answer. You could no longer be a part of the pseudo killers, if that's true. But you're still my sister, and I love you. You know, I'm just asking you, are you a Muslim now? And if you are, you prove what I said. How many of y'all heard me say they followed their man? How many times you hear me say that? They follow their man, even though Juju knows better. She knows the information in the history. But in order to please their king, they will keep the lie within themselves and follow their man, their king. So I see she ain't responding. Juju done ran off now. Yeah, she done ran off.
By the way, brother sa.neter, before we carry on with the discussion, can I share about the video and share my screen?
Yes, of course. Let's get it.
Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier at the start of this, we are having a vigil for a brother, Mr. Imhotep. Can you see?
Yes, I see it.
I don't know if it's clear enough. Oops. Oh, I wish I could display it just right.
Yes, I see it.
Okay, so this is the flyer, and I could send this to you to maybe put in your community post.
Yes.
But I don't know if some of you, I'm pretty sure there's people amongst us here who would know Mr. Imhotep.
Yes. Juju, I'm coming to you next, sis.
And we're doing a vigil for him. He passed away last year at just 34 years old.
Damn.
I know it's unbelievable under very strange circumstances. So we're doing, we don't excuse me. I didn't want us to just like move on. Like, we lost a great person. He was very influential in my consciousness journey. In fact, it was his video that got me to start really looking into that whole Cleopatra thing. And then I went down this rabbit hole, and then I found everybody else. But he was my gateway into my into this aspect of my consciousness. He was the one I had heard about these things before, especially through African Americans. But it was his video that really got me to take it seriously and start really digging into it. And then I found everybody else.
Here's your evening sports radio routine.
Alexa, be quiet.
So yeah, this is a video we're doing for him on the 28th of February at 12 p.m. PST. So it's gonna be two parts commemoration. The first part is gonna be this live stream on the February 28th. Which will be featuring tributes and a cultural ceremony and some musical offerings and a panel of reflections. His family is going to speak. We're going to hear more about his life story and see pictures of him, like the real guy, what it looked like. And then the second part will probably be a couple of weeks after that. It's going to be more like a community healing circle. It'll be on Zoom. You'd have to register for that one because it'll be on Zoom, and we'll go in breakout rooms and have dialogue. And part of that is for us to be able to process that grief and reflect and, develop more community connection, and also have collective dialogue on how to move forward his educational mission. And part of the reason I decided to do the second one is because when I heard of his death, I was grieving alone. I'm like, I don't know anyone to talk to about this. I was in so much pain. I didn't know anyone to talk to about this. And I value all the people in this work so much that if anything happens to them, it's gonna be a whole grieving process.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a whole grieving process. So I'd really encourage you all to come to this. It's gonna be on the channel Camgiverse, so you can take a screenshot of the flyer. And yeah, so it's on the 28th because that is the it's at the end of Black History Month. Also, his birthday is this month. His birthday is on the 18th. That's in 2 days. the 18th of February. So that's why we're doing this video now in honor of his birthday and in honor of the Black History Month. So I'd really encourage you all to attend on the Camgiverse website. Also, I'll encourage you all to sign up for my channel, my YouTube channel. It's called It's Just Ideas. It's Just Ideas, where I'm gonna be posting more stuff about this and yeah, have additional content about my story and so on. I just started that channel, so I'll appreciate all the support I can get.
All
But
right.
any questions about the vigil before we move on?
All right, there's her channel right there, y'all. Right by her name. It's called It's Just Ideas. Go and subscribe to the sister. Check her out. And I think you're going to love it. Go check the sister out. That's how she spell it. It's Just Ideas. All right? Make sure y'all go check her out. Now, let's get to our sister, Juju. Tell us about your experience, my sister, traveling to Africa. And are you a Muslim? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about your journey and your transitioning to Islam. Because you've been in Africa for how long?
I went there for about a month the first time, and I was only there for about 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
The last time I'm in the States. I'm home in Florida.
Oh, okay. Let the people know what part of Africa you went to, and what do you think about it?
Yeah. So I have a dual residence now in Gambia, between Gambia, West Africa, and the United States. My husband is Gambian. How that started is when I first went to Africa, I went on an initiative. So we did skills training at Ganjaro Skills Academy. My husband worked there, and that's where I met him. So Gambia is predominantly Muslim. There are Christians there, but it's predominantly Muslim. But it's not like the Islam you will see an Arab do. So I know that in the history with West African Islam, yes, there was the Saharan slave trade. However, lots of African kingdoms would convert to Islam, more of a political thing, okay? Because they knew that the East was like their rivals. So, you know, Gambia is, I think, I only know Gambia, I can't speak for anybody else, but even though majority are Muslim, you have some Christians there, but they also are very entrenched in their own cultural practices, you know. Gambian, you have Mandinka, you have the Wolof, you have the Jolof, the Jola, the Fulani, and they have their own cultural traditional practices and their own languages. And when I say they're strong in that, they're strong in that. Also, they're not as strict. So, you know, if you want to talk to me privately, all due respect, Napah,
Right.
but you know,
How did they treat you? How did they treat you when you got there? Because you know how the things go. Africans don't like us. They don't care about us. How did they treat you?
I mean, I didn't have no issue. I mean, I actually loved it. I love Gambia. I fell in love immediately. We got to go to Senegal also, go to Gorée Island. You know, Senegal is like New York City. So I guess the people and the temperament is a little, you know, snappy and quick. You feel me? So it might rub you wrong, but it's like big city and things move fast. It's a huge city, you know? Gambia is a little bit more, it's a smaller city. It's developing, but the people are very sharp, and I had no issues, you know. Maybe a culture shock for some, but I knew what to expect, and I'm okay with that, you know. It's right on the beach, beautiful beaches. You know, I have a house that's being built now. It should be done in October, so hopefully we get to start an Airbnb business, grab a few jet skis, some ATVs, do that on the beach, you know. So yeah, do a sweet business. So we're just trying to get in early, you know, before all the Europeans come take over, because that's what they love to do. Yeah, so I would urge people who want to get into business or looking to connect in Africa to, you know, pick a country that you vibe with. You feel me? Ghana may be your thing. Nigeria may be your thing. Gambia is my thing. So that's home now.
All right. That's good. Blessings to you, sister. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On the part of Islam, I mean, me and my husband have spoken about some things I won't speak in public.
Right.
But as far as the culture and the people, and not to be viewed as an outsider, I felt it was necessary to convert. You know?
Are you the second wife, the first wife, or the third wife?
I'm the first. Well, he was married before, but they were divorced. So I'm still his first wife.
Okay.
I am the wife. Yeah.
Right. Good. Good.
Every Muslim and every African Muslim aren't into polygamy, though they can in Gambia, but we're supposed to back that, you know. I don't know if I would be bothered if he decided to do that. I know that's a cultural thing. I can't change him, you know, expect him to be American. You know what I'm saying? I didn't marry American, so you know.
All right. Proud of your happiness. Long as you happy. That's
Very
the
happy.
first thing that counts. You know.
Yeah.
Is he
Thank
coming
you.
to America anytime soon? You know.
So, right after we got married, well, before we even got married, you know, I was gonna help him get over here anyway. Like when we were just talking, we already got an immigration attorney, paid for it, everything. But of course, Trump decided that he wanted to ban most of the African countries. So visas are on restriction, even just if you want to come for tourism. But my husband can go to Jamaica or Bahamas without a visa, stay for 90 days, and those are close to me. I'm in Florida, you know. He could get one like special diplomatic ties. So we know we know a Gambia who just got in. She's very close to us.
When y'all was driving in Africa, you was in the car, and I was right, and I don't think you seen it. And then I tuned in again one day where you was getting your hair braided, and I was like calling you, yo, Choo, I see you, but you still didn't respond. I guess you didn't see it.
I did respond, but later, because you know the internet is slow, so it's like I saw maybe like 30 minutes later. I saw your comments, and I respond to them. That was Gayanjaro, and it's a skills academy, meaning it's a vocational type school. My job and the person who invited me on that endeavor is to get sponsorship for that school and also to get individuals or entities who can help out because the government is involved in that school. We've already met the government, but their idea, I can give it a specific name, but it's like the Qualification Board for Education in Gambia, and they want to make that school a polytech institution. So we're working on trying to get some things done. So that initiative is still ongoing, and I'm still a part of that. I just so happen to meet someone that I love, and we fit, and now I'm married. Yeah.
All right, that's good. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Brother, stay cool. You want to respond to anything?
Yeah, just to say, you know, good to see the sister. I've been to Gambia as well. Everything she says is kind of true. I lived in Gambia for a few years. I did business there in Brikama City.
Yeah.
I used to go Serekunda, get my stuff.
I'm near Serekunda, Kotu.
Yeah, I go to Serekunda, buy stuff, and I sell them in Brikama. I used to have a store. I sell children and women stuff in the big Brikama market. So, like she said, Gambia is predominantly Muslim, but it is the Senegambia as a whole is influenced by the Murid Brotherhood, Islam, which influenced that area very long. It's a Islam that was mixed with African culture. So it was diluted. It didn't have that Arabic Wahhabis ideology, which is very strict and very brutal, and look for what I would call puritanical Islam, where they brutalize people. You go to Gambia, you see people walking in bikini on the beach. You see people with dreadlocks. You see people do all stuff. You only know they are Muslim when there's a mosque nearby.
Or they go to pray
on Friday. And people drink, people take all stuff. Everything is cool in Gambia. But for us here, we critique Islam from the historical point of view, from the historical context in which Islam came into Africa, the slavery. It's not just the slavery, the invasion. They were the one who destabilized African states. If you study the history of transatlantic slavery, which affected most African in the diaspora today.
Yeah, it was destabilized.
You have to understand the push, what we call in history the push factors. That mean the internal factors that make slavery to be possible. And one of those push factors was that Islam destabilized all major African states that were protecting people. Ouagadougou Empire, Ghana Empire, were destroyed by the Hammurabi. So by the destruction of Ghana Empire, the subsequent empire like Mali and Songhai were also always besieged by the Arab Muslims. And the jihad activities of other black Muslims who became Muslim, you have Usman Danfodio, the Fulani jihad. So this destabilized the region. There was no more powerful empire to protect Africa. So we started living as tribes instead of living in empires. That make it very easy for people to capture people as slaves. Sheikh Anta talk about this in his book. So this is what we say, that Islam is complicit. It's not apologizing. This is one of the problems we have. They try to cover our people like Brother Allah. You know, don't try to apologize. The Pope, the Catholic Church has apologized in its role for slavery. Everyone has apologized, but it's like Allah and his people, they are always right. They can look in the face and say, the 6 to 10 million people that we took out of the African continent that disappeared, we want to apologize. They said, no, Allah is always right. They are always right. I think such a religion is dangerous for humanity if it cannot correct itself.
Who told you to hang that picture up that high there?
Hold up. I want to know, why is La always afraid to hit the panel when you got strong brothers in here that know Islam?
Because Morpheus is not here to protect him.
Yeah, he's such afraid, you know? Brother La, we are calling you out to stand up like a man. The way you speak strong. Come on in here and have a dialogue, brother. Come teach us. Stop being afraid, brother. Stop being afraid, man. Come on in here and teach us. Don't jump on the panel when there's nobody in here that don't know about Islam. Go ahead, Juju, you want to say something?
Let me ask him that, because
Get out of Apostle. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. That painting should be eye level when you're sitting down. You got that picture sitting up on the ceiling, man. You might as well turn over upside down and look at it.
What picture?
The picture behind you.
What picture?
The one that's on the ceiling. Look behind you. Look behind you.
The wall behind you. That picture. Why is it up on the wall ceiling like that?
What do you mean? I don't understand the question.
I mean, come on, he won it right there.
He doesn't know anything about design. That's okay, man. The picture is too high. It's hanging too high.
Okay, Apostle, please, can we deal with the topic and leave my house decoration?
If you don't know better, you don't know better. It's all right.
Yeah, I don't know better. Thank you. Can we deal with the topic?
It's no problem.
You so
you can put it on the ceiling. I just was wondering. That's all.
Let him hang his picture the way he wants.
What did I just say, man?
Sekou is
Apostle, I don't like the cup on your table. It should have been on the floor.
You don't like the
bottle should have been on the floor. What do you
that's
think?
ridiculous, man. The cup belongs on the table and not on the floor.
No, it's an empty bottle. Put it down.
Yeah, this is a whole bottle. It's a half a bottle.
You see how irrelevant it is?
Nah. I was just wondering, man. I mean,
I'm just trying to show you how irrelevant it is.
I
do not sell decoration. I'm not here to advertise decoration.
Apostle, you missed the point that he was trying to show you, brother.
Believe me,
I'm not here to
he
advertise
missed my point.
decoration.
He's not here. You know, like when Tazariak told him, man, I don't care nothing about you. He said, well, why would you care? I'm not a female. Like, is that the only reason why we care about one another? I can't care about you as a brother. But see, in some people's mind, the way they think, you learn a lot about people, the way they decorate their house. One thing I do, I get in the car. And I see the car is filthy. You know what that tells me?
Are we really doing this?
So,
Did you miss a sleeping man or something?
Hey, brother, you can put it on the ceiling.
Apostle, please, brother, change that up, because he can decorate his house the way he wants to, brother. You don't have to watch it.
Brother, I said that. I was just
leave it alone then. Leave it alone. Let's move on, brother.
Leave it alone. Curious minds wanted to know
Why is he curious about his house? Let him go. Let it go.
It's
what's wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you, son? Every time I've spoken, you cut me off. It's all right.
No, you ain't bringing nothing. You saying something else, brother.
I was talking to the sister. You cut me off.
Yeah.
Back in talking to the sister. You cut me off. And like, then you started having a conversation with Juju, and she wasn't even on the channel. But you cut me off to have a conversation.
Right, stop crying, brother. Just go on now. Talk to the sister.
Yeah, see what I'm saying about you? No, man. It can't have it both ways.
Apostle, you dragging on with this, man. Go on, brother. Teach.
Take me off the screen, man.
All right. You don't need to drag on with this.
Take me off the screen. I want to see the sister. The one that did the presentation. We do nice. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Honestly, the last thing I left was you was talking about your journey here in America. But where did you grow up in Africa?
I grew up in Wakanda.
Wakanda? The one the movie was about?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wakanda forever.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. I like that, man. I like that. And your grandfather.
I grew up in Cameroon.
Cameroon?
Yeah.
I got ancestry. I got some links to Cameroon and to Togo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got African blood in you, Apostle.
And also Sierra Leone. So
you
mother E5.
Sorry, what
was mother?
Remember you said that, Apostle.
Say what?
Remember you said that.
Yeah. Yeah. So my father is E1B1A, but his strand is coming off the M78 and the
All right, Apostle. Let's go somewhere.
It doesn't matter, but instead of going west for my father, he went east, through the Middle East into Iberian coast. That's where he started at. But for those that want to know about that,
nobody want to know about that.
It's like Africans there first when they first got
to control yourself.
First got to West Africa.
You know, control yourself. I just wanted to share with the woman, like y'all, everybody shared their journey. Kusu, whatever. You know, I wanted to share mine because it has not. We are like night and day, but I still can respect your coming into consciousness. I can, even though it has nothing to do with mine. Right?
Right.
I can still respect yours. And that's what it's about. It's not being dismissive of those that are not like each other. Just because we're different, it don't mean we can't bond.
All right. Thank you, Apostle. Setche,
Yes.
have you come across any Hebrew Israelite in Africa?
Have I come across any what?
Hebrew Israelites.
No.
Did any of our people from where you at?
Are there any Americans?
Have anybody in Cameroon said that they are Hebrew Israelites?
Never heard it in Cameroon.
I never heard
I don't
that.
even know what you're talking about.
Right, exactly.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I've never heard it in Cameroon.
Right. There you go. How about what other places you've been to in Africa?
I've only been to Ethiopia and South Africa.
Have you heard of Hebrew Israelites in Ethiopia and South Africa?
Yeah, the Limba.
Be quiet, Apostle.
In Ethiopia, I don't know about South Africa, but in Ethiopia.
Yeah. You ever heard of
I'm
the
gonna
Limba?
debunk you on the limba, bro.
Sorry?
Don't do that. on the Limba?
Malema is on the Julius Malema is a Malemba tribe. That ain't gonna work.
What you mean that's not gonna work?
I know where you're going with it, but it ain't gonna work. It's the same way with the E-way. It's the same way with the E-way tribe.
Rosenberg
It's all
had
cultural transmission. That none of that is indigenous. Okay.
How can you say it's not indigenous? They got the Torah and always had the Torah.
It's not. There's no material culture. Yeah, because someone brought it to them.
Right. They have not always had it, Apostle.
Yeah, they say they always had it. They say they always had it. And it's just not the limbo. We just got out of here. What we got to do, that's like me right now telling the sisters, you didn't experience. Who told you that you were Egyptian? You didn't experience that. Your grandfather didn't know. Your grandfather didn't know what he was talking about. How does that sound for me to take that position against you? You see, the agony of these people, man, that do that. People are for us. We don't know who we are. Who we are, what we are has been stolen from all of us.
You get Sekou turned up, brother. Please.
Everything has been taken. What's been taken from you has been taken from me. And even if I'm not right, I still have the right to claim it.
All right.
So willfully ignorant is what you choose.
That's not willful ignorance. What's being willful ignorance is your position that you're taking because it's naive. You're naive to my story. You're naive. You don't have that. That's like me telling her what you saying ain't true. And she know it to be true. She has the evidence.
Let me come in.
We're not here. I'm not here anyway.
All right, Apostle, let Sekou go on now.
So first of all,
Nah, you don't know how to finish, brother.
I just want to finish my statement.
You don't know how to do that. You don't know how to do that.
I do know how to do it, and I want to land my plane right now. I want to
land quickly.
Dock the boat.
You know, the problem is y'all don't know how to respect your elders.
Brother, just go, Apostle.
Know how to respect the elders. I'm there. I'm almost 73 years old.
All due respect.
All right, all due respect.
Yeah.
I would sound ridiculous telling you
that already, brother. You're saying the same thing again. You're saying the same thing.
Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
See?
So,
hey, cool.
First of all, Sister Setche, I don't know if this should be an apology or a welcome to you. This is how it works here. This is the house of consciousness.
Right, and you're going to get that information.
What is happening here? This is what we do. We debate here. We sometimes go at each other. Sometimes the words can be a little bit much. But at the end of the day, it's all based on evidence. Can you prove what you're saying? If you can prove it, then we said, source up or shut up. So this is the way it works here. So don't be surprised. Don't think that, what is going on? They're yelling at each other. That's how it works here. It's house of
Pseudo killers say that.
And I always tell you, watch the videos before you come. That's what I was saying. So that's what happened.
You're Muslim.
Apostle, don't misrepresent what the sister said tonight. She didn't say her grandfather told her, therefore she believed. That's the misrepresentation. She said she disbelieved it initially. That's critical thinking.
Right.
Her grandfather told her for 25 years.
I know what she's saying. Apostle, man. What is you doing? Quiet, brother.
You don't have to treat me.
Apostle, man. You got to let the brother finish, man. Go ahead, finish.
Critical thinking is what I said in my last video here, is to be skeptical and curious. She was very skeptical with the information that the grandfather gave. That's critical thinking. Then she became curious. She began to see similarities. She began to compare and contrast. She began to read. She showed you videos that she's watched. She told you about Diab and information she's read. Now she's trying to challenge the information given to her grandfather. By challenging that information, she came to a conclusion that there is some facts to it. That's how critical thinking works. It doesn't mean that she's even right entirely, but she's telling you her journey towards this information, how it worked out for her. And I think this is how every intelligent people come into information. There's critical thinking, they're challenging of the information, then they find evidence to it, then they try to put it out there for people to test it or scrutinize it. I think this is how even science even works. So don't come here and say your grandfather told you you are Indian or Hebrew, therefore it's true. No, it's not working here. What is the evidence? Can we compare? Can we find a material culture? Can we find a history? Can we find the artifacts like she did tonight? She even showed you artifacts. She showed you culture, things that she saw as similarities, linguistics. She showed you anthropology. She even gave you a list of scientific discipline. Come on, Apostle. Can you give me the anthropological evidence, the linguistic evidence, the genetic evidence of your connection to any Hebrew in the Middle
Good
East?
question. And that made him run off. He ran off when you asked him that.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to set the record straight. It's not about
beautiful. I want the sister to close us out. I don't want to ruin her presentation for anybody else to come on and start acting crazy. So I want the sister to go ahead and close us out, Queen. Close us out.
Okay, thank you so much. I want to close out by saying like how important it is for us to understand these histories and cultures, especially these ancient histories, because I'll use my experience again as an example. We have been taught that we're not qualified in the corporate spaces where we go into. We're made to feel incompetent and so on. And when we apply for jobs, we're made to feel incompetent. And knowing this history has, helped me stay grounded at times when I could have lost it. Like at times when I could have internalized what this culture and society, tells me about myself and my people. For example, like after George Floyd happened and all the protests happened, I was sitting around minding my own business, running my business, and then I got so many calls for job interviews. And I was like, wow, okay, finally we're getting seen and, finally get opportunities. But guess how many job interviews I went through?
How many?
I just take a guess first.
10.
Good try. I went through 163 job interviews.
Damn.
Many of them going through the final round. So with big companies and small ones, but mostly the biggest ones. And every time I looked online to see who got those jobs, they were usually white people or some other non-Black person, but mostly white. And they usually didn't even have half of my qualifications.
Damn.
And I almost internalized that, that something must be wrong with me. But having this reminder that no, I'm okay and my ancestors are okay. And my ancestors taught these people's ancestors everything they knew. We've historically taught the Greeks, gave us math and science and philosophy and so on, but the Greeks learned all of it from the Black Egyptians. And so this history helped me say yes to myself when I got 163 no's. This history was my rock, was my solid rock, and so yeah, this history is very important. Oh, and the other thing, those jobs I'm talking about weren't even those jobs were DEI jobs, because I told you I started out in engineering. I did that for several years before moving into DEI. For several years I did DEI now for like over 12 years. So those were DEI jobs that were going out to white people. And at first I thought I must be dreaming. And then I looked at the statistics. The research shows that 83.1% of DEI leadership jobs go to white people. And only 3.1% go to Black people, even though Black people are the face of DEI. Only 3.1% of us get those jobs. But anyway, so I've made it an effort now to do these talks. I have many versions of it, from 10 minutes, from 5 minutes all the way up to 4-hour workshops that I do around this. And I've done them in Black and white spaces and mixed spaces. And I've loved the feedback I've been getting so far, and I do them not only during Black History Month, I've done them throughout the year. And I want to keep doing more because I feel like getting this history out there, especially in the mainstream, starts to dismantle the roots of these biases that makes people think we're not competent, when really our ancestors are responsible for many of the things we enjoy today as a society that we call civilization or innovation. So anyway, so that's my key takeaway, is this work is important, and so I revere all the people online and offline who are doing this work of raising consciousness and spreading our history. And remember Mr. Imhotep's vigil happening on February 28th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Camgiverse channel. Also remember to subscribe to my new channel I just started. Yay! Oh, sorry. It's just ideas. So go sign up, please, and subscribe. And Sekou, did you want to say anything about Mr. Imhotep's vigil? Sekou is on the planning committee.
The only thing I'll add is people should join in the link you gave, and also take the picture of the flyer and join us on Camgiverse. I don't know if there was a way to relay it for sa.neter to one of his channels to put it live for people to follow as well. I don't know how that works, but it's something we can think of. But we just want to celebrate a brother. He was also speaking on Egypt, speaking about Black history and all of that, defending, and he was having about 1 million followers, and then he died suddenly, and the community were trying to move on, and we said, no, the conscious community cannot just move on when someone important died in our midst, just because we don't know them directly or we don't have a close tie with them. We can't just ignore their legacy. We have to, we found out we struggled to get connected to his family. They don't even know us. They were a little bit confused about who we are. And we had to fight to tell them, look, he preached about Black history, and we want to recognize his contribution and celebrate his life. So whoever wants to join this, you can join it just to talk about him, and make sure his works do not disappear on YouTube. We make sure that we continue to share it for our children to learn.
And that's it. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Y'all can exit out. Let the doorknob hit you. Finish that statement off saying, Suntan.
Huh?
Finish off the statement. Let the doorknob hit you.
Where the good Lord split you.
There you go.
Say the whole sentence again. Let the what happen? And
let the doorknob hit you.
Where the good Lord split you.
Oh, okay.
You don't get it.
I didn't get it, but I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, you don't get it. All right. Peace, Queen. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, Brother Sekou, for bringing the sister excellent information. Hope to see you again, sis. Whenever you're ready, hit me up. We're going to get you.
That's good.
We'll be waiting.
Peace and blessings.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. And I hope I'll see you on my channel. And yeah, and feel free to invite me to do this talk anywhere you want, in the school or your workplace or anywhere. I'd be glad to.
All right. Peace and blessings.
All right.
You got a song, sir?
Yep. I'll talk to you later, though.
Peace.
Peace. I'm going to go back to my old original, Trapped in Religion. Different version of it.
This is for my brothers, trapped in religion. Wake up and free the sisters, sa.neter on the mission. The house of consciousness is where you break the chain. Stop feeding the system that keeps you in pain, that keeps you enslaved. God of the Bible, sharpen the spikes, flood the whole earth just for views and likes. God say he is love, but he's a liar. The devil is the hitman from God, they make the fire. He write the commandments, Yahweh, and breaks everyone. Demanding apostle the life of his only son, Jesus. Damn, look at Job, tells Ariat stripped to the bones. I bet with the devil for a God.
Hey, yo, you know what? I forgot I had this song on here, but I got so caught up playing the other one. This one, I forgot I put Yara, Apostle, and Tazoriak in this one. Let's hear that again. Let me hear it, because it's the sister going in. Wow. That's crazy. You got all about this.
This is for my brothers, trapped in religion. Wake up and free the sisters, sa.neter on the mission. The house of consciousness is where you break the chain. Stop feeding the system that keeps you in pain, that keeps you in slave. God of the Bible, sharpen the spikes, flood the whole earth just for views and likes. God say he is love, but he's a liar. The devil is the hitman from God, they make the fire. He write the commandments, Yahweh, and breaks everyone. Demanding a parcel, the life of his only son, Jesus. Damn, look at Job, tells Ariat stripped to the bones. A bet with the devil for a God on a throne. What? God hardened Pharaoh's heart just to flaunt his might, and slaughtered every firstborn in the dead of the night.
God damn, I forgot how deep this song was. I haven't even played it. I put it up here, but if only you see the songs up in my Rolodex here, I forgot all about this. This joint is spitting fire. I had this joint spitting fire. God damn, I forgot this. I'm gonna start rocking this one too. Cause Tazoriak, Elder Yara, Apostle. Let me hear that one more time. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. You hear this one, man? You hear it?
This is for my brothers
trapped
in religion. Wake up and free the sisters. sa.neter on the mission. The house of consciousness is where you break the chain. Stop feeding the system that keeps you in pain, that keeps you enslaved. God of the Bible, sharpen the spikes, flood the whole earth just for views and likes. God say he is love, but he's a liar. The devil is the hitman from God, they make the fire. He write the commandments, Yahweh, and breaks everyone. Demanding a parcel, the life of...
He write the commandments, Yahweh, and break everyone. Whoa! God damn. Damn, I forgot I went in hard on that. Damn, I forgot all about that. Oh, I'm gonna put this down to my number one now. Got all about it. He write the commandments, Yahweh, and break everyone.
This is for my brothers trapped in religion. Wake up and free the sisters. sa.neter on the mission. The house of consciousness is where you break the chain. Stop feeding the system that keeps you in pain, that keeps you enslaved. God of the Bible, sharpen the spikes, flood the whole earth just for views and likes. God say he is love, but he's a liar. The devil is the hitman from God, they make the fire. He write the commandments, Yahweh, and breaks everyone. Demanding a parcel, the life of his only son, Jesus. Damn, look at Job, tells Ariat stripped to the bones. A bet with the devil for a God on a throne. What? God hardened Pharaoh's heart just to flaunt his might, and slaughtered every firstborn in the dead of the night. This is for my brother trapped in religion. Time to wake up and sharpen your vision. This is for my brother, trapped in religion. Break free and free the sisters. sa.neter on the mission. sa.neter on the mission. Divine prospect, you the Nazarite. Into the Bible, look at the text. God is the author of the trauma, Hebrew Israelites. The dealer of the hand, spreading plagues in the grapes all across the promised land. Isaiah 45:7, read the ink. He created good and evil. Yeah. And some Israelites I met, I lie all the time. This is for my brother. This is for my brother. Trapped in religion. Trapped in religion. Time to wake up. Sharpen your vision. This is for my brother. Trapped in religion. Break free and free the sisters. sa.neter on the mission. sa.neter on the mission.
I forgot all about that song but I do remember playing it when I first did it. And I got lost in it because when I redid it, I came up with this version, the remix. And I got so hooked on this one that I fell in love with this one. It made me forget all about the other one. And here's the remix.
Napah, where you at? Where you at? Where my people at? I need you to help me on this mission. Yeah. This is for my brothers trapped in religion. Open up your eyes, break out of the prison. This is for my brothers trapped in religion. Sa.neter be the truth, you know he's on a mission. It's sad to see my brothers all so lost. It's sad to see you believe in things that's false. It's sad to see you believe in Jesus, where your logic breaks apart in 1,000 pieces. Oh, God killer, not gonna let that slide. You drowning in a myth, you had nowhere to hide. The HOK is the toughest environment. While we trade blind faith for mental empowerment. I believe in scriptures for your mind, this is the key. It's time to unlearn everything you believe. The house of consciousness, start looking within. That's where the real liberation begins. Oh, this is for my brothers trapped in religion. Open up your eyes, break out of that prison. This is for my brother trapped in religion. Sa.neter be the truth, you know he's on a mission. The HOK is more than just a place. It's a tough environment where you check your faith. Bomb squad and pseudo killers who check your sources. Don't come in front cause you will live for losses. The Bible written to break your spirit, built to keep you low, feeding you metaphors, stopping your growth. These is for my brothers trapped in religion. Sa.neter be the truth, you know he's on a mission. It's sad to see my brothers all so lost. It's sad to see you believe in things that's false. It's sad to see you believe in Jesus, while your logic breaks apart in 1,000 pieces.
See how I forgot that song? Because when I redid it on this one, I fell in love with this one. And I just kept playing this one. And that's how I forgot the other one. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. I'm going to start selling my songs, y'all. I'm going to put it together. I think I'm going to put 10 songs on one drive, and I'm going to sell them. That's how I could get a couple of dollars. My people don't want to send me no money. They don't want to send me no love. They don't want to send me no donations. So I got to create something. I'm going to just start selling the songs, man. I got to learn how to copyright it, because I know they all going to copyright this one. Sister, love this. Hey, this is a big. It up.
That is for my sisters
Listen to the tape.
trapped in religion. Wake up and free the babies. sa.neter speak the truth, he's on a mission. Yeah. The house of consciousness, the final call. Will you Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? The house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. I use the Bible like a lantern in the night, trying to wake up my sister. The house is closing in, it's a total mess. You ignore my wisdom, the ultimate test. Step inside the HOK, it's the toughest terrain, where the truth hits hard, the cuts bring pain. I try to wake you with the word in my hand, to get you to the truth, to help you understand. I gave you the scriptures, chapters and verse. I gave you the keys to break the curse. I gave you Torah to unlock with keys. Break the mental chains and be free. The final call. Yeah, will your Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? The house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. They call you apostle like you a prophet of God, telling lies and fooling people can't be that hard. You're preaching from YouTube, looking for a handout. I'm standing on family, trying to bring the truth out. Welcome to the HOK, where the truth resides. No more hiding in the pews where the dies. We speak against the Bible just to wake the inner sight. Come inside the HOK doors, we bring the light. The house of consciousness, the final call. Will your Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. sa.neter, don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, wake the sister up. Don't stop, don't stop. sa.neter, don't stop, wake the sister up. Don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, don't stop.
Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I love the original songs that the brothers and sisters made for me. I love them. I love them all. But you just tend to love yours a little more when you put that work in, when you put that pen to the paper. But I can't mess with none of my real people that came out and made these songs for me. So shout out to them. But somebody said, sorry, can you make any fast music? I think this is kind of fast right here. Let's see. Cowboy style. Cowboy style.
Yeah, the HOK is the toughest environment, and at your own risk is the toughest environment. The HOK is the toughest environment. Yeah, stay strong, don't cry. It's the toughest environment. Yeah. No handouts here. You have to earn your respect. And when you do, you make they ass regret. They call it the toughest, and the title is earned from the bridges we crossed and the lessons we learned. In a cold-blooded kingdom, a concrete cage. Muslim, Christian, Israelites step on the stage. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. In a cool-blooded kingdom, sa.neter created. HOK, where you can't fake it. The HOK is where you fight back. No room for error, no window attack. It's a masterclass, how you handle the heat. Where the pedigree is written on the concrete streets. Toughest environment, yeah, we know the score. Locked in on debate and asking for more. The HOK is the toughest environment. Enter at your own risk, it's the toughest environment. toughest environment. Stay strong, don't cry. It's the toughest environment. Yeah.
Yo, listen, if you got a system, right? If you have a system where you can play it and then come out your speakers and you turn that bad boy up, all them songs gonna be fire. You will really feel it. Cause I got it in my headphones and I'm turning it up with my equalizer. And man, that joint sounds slamming. Now I'm inspired to write another song. And it might take me 3 days or 4 days, but I'll get it done. Peace and Black Power, everybody. We out here.